My name is Justin Stivason. This is my driver's ed safety poster that I made for the second session. Uh, I did end up doing 4 separate things. Not the most creative person. I did it on Microsoft Word, but hopefully I covered everything in the rubric here, which I double checked. So we're going over passing other vehicles, whether it's passing at night, passing a larger vehicle, or if you get in the circumstance where you begin passing someone and then you realize it's not safe to pass and what you should do in that particular situation. The first thing I put on this poster, even though I only have black toner at my house and not color toner, is what each individual line means on the road. So you know if it's legally okay for you to pass. And obviously there's other variables you'll take into consideration when you do pass another vehicle to make sure that it is safe. I had the situation when I was in school where a group of teenagers left during a basketball game. Their parents thought that they were staying for the JV and varsity game, and they ended up actually leaving during the varsity game, and they passed on a double yellow line and got in an accident and actually unfortunately were killed. So it is important to understand this. It's important that kids, when you teach them this, understand what those lines mean to know whether it's safe to pass or not. Other things that I put. Whenever taking an oncoming car or an ongoing car, you should scan for hazards, oncoming vehicles approaching from the rear, and merging vehicles, checking your blind spots, signaling your intention, and then accelerating into the passing lane, concentrating on the path ahead and checking the mirror for following cars. When returning to the lane, making sure that you can see the whole car that you did pass in your rear view mirror and you can see the whole front of the vehicle. Signaling your intention to get back into the lane that you were just in, changing lanes, maintaining speed, and then canceling your turn signal once you've successfully passed. I also mentioned passing vehicles at night. Obviously, your vision's a little bit more impaired at night, and it's a little bit more difficult to see, especially when it's raining and things like that. Your judgment on how fast the vehicle is going and things of that nature, it's a little bit more difficult to judge at night. So that's something you can take in consideration, especially if the roads are wet and you get that glare off of the road. It's a little bit more difficult. I also did passing larger vehicles that you can see the no zones, where it is difficult for a truck driver to see you. You do not want to linger in these zones. Other things, if you are passing a larger vehicle, not to linger in these no zones, but also to make sure you're passing them in a situation to where it's not like you're going on a downgrade or that larger vehicle is going at a faster speed. I just had to help someone back up a U-Haul across the bridge over a creek today, and trying to line that up, and their vision's not very good, and this was a person that was not used to backing up a large vehicle. So for them, they understand this now, that they really cannot see you, and it is a little difficult. So you don't want to linger in these zones. Some other things I mentioned, like I said before, if you're going downhill, make sure that you take that in consideration, that larger vehicle is going to be going a little bit faster. And if one's passing you, just stay in the right lane and slow down and let them pass you. And the last thing was, and I kind of put a little picture as far as someone, probably a teenager that looks a little nervous behind the wheel. If you begin to pass a vehicle and then determine it's not safe, pull back into the lane that you were in, slow down, get back into that lane. And if you get in a situation where it is not safe, pull to the opposite shoulder and make sure that you are safe. So just a little recap. On this poster, if you were to look at it, which I'll post that on my Session 2 assignment here later, understanding the road markings, how to successfully pass a vehicle, those steps are listed. If you're passing a vehicle at night, passing those larger vehicles, which there's a good graphic on where a truck driver can see you and not see you, and also what to do if you begin to pass a vehicle and you then determine that it's not a safe situation, to make sure you remain calm and get back the lane you were in, or if you can't, to pull it to that opposite shoulder and get yourself into a safe situation. So that's it for me. Thank you.